This week on Stay Out of My Fridge.
These gnats, bro. I'm about to Muhammad Ali these things.
Have a beer with Baker Mayfield or Johnny Manziel?
Ooh, I do with Johnny and beer with Baker.
Now, why make me pick one? Why not both?
My wife has stepped on him and started crying. And like, I felt bad because she's pregnant, but then also it's like finally somebody that's not a dad that has to step on a toy.
Mm-hmm.
There was an Amish family who got on, and it was 95 degrees outside. And they were dressed like they always are, like Amish folks are dressed. And bro, like you should have been leaving out some deodorant for free for those folks because they wore none of it.
They won't use it.
And it was awful, bro. I'm talking like, you want to talk about nutsack smell? Like it was straight up. Old Jebediah, 75 years old, balls I know were just stuck to the side of his leg because it smelled like it.
Yeah. I would too. Hey, if you want to know what we're talking about, go to the Patreon, patreon.com/beardlaws. We don't put anything on there, but we greatly appreciate it. And the one person that's forgot to remove their stuff, I feel bad. I'm going to get rid of that because your $1 a month could go elsewhere.
I would imagine my
name. It's all right. They don't see the name. But either way, names, that's me. It's Matt. It's Beardlaws, the voice you're hearing. Joining me, as always, Euban walking off and Brandon J. McDermott. Dudes, what's up? We got a vibe going. We were in some pretty intense quarterback conversation backstage. No, we're not a sports podcast, and we probably do it better than some people out there. But did you guys see the meme going around where they were like, how did the draft go? It was like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, and all these guys, or how they've been going around the NFL. Then there was Josh Rosen. Hasn't played in the NFL since 2021. I saw that this morning. I was like, oh, they did Josh dirty.
They did. Well, and they were talking about, what was it, the Zach Wilson draft class and like how boo-boo that one was. Like Trevor Lawrence is kind of trash. Zach Wilson. Who else was in there? I forget. It was like the first 4 picks. Kyle Pitts, I think, was the 4th pick with the tight end. And then they're like, wow, this is probably the worst 4 picks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
to look it up.
I mean, I just have to say this. I kind of think this is kind of where you're going with it, but from a fan's standpoint, I think I even said this last week. I cannot get behind these 18 to 15 games. I cannot get behind these field goal. These quarterbacks can't make a completion. You want to see a good game, you have to watch a Buffalo Bills versus Kansas City Chiefs. You have to watch the Baltimore Ravens taking on another team with a good quarterback. See, I can't even think of them right now because there's not very many top echelon quarterbacks, and there's so many quarterbacks. I mean, hell, we're watching a game right now with a Hall of Fame elite quarterback who's having a shitty game, and it's not very fun to watch. So I don't know. I just think we throw these young quarterbacks into the mix too quickly. And you got a team, you're watching a team where a quarterback's going 6 for 21 for 75 yards. Like, I don't want to watch that game.
No.
Should we give Nathan Peterman another chance?
Oh, yeah. Especially they should have done it when the Ghostbusters movie was popping. It's just a fun play. But they were all 2018 draft class. I'm looking at it real quick. Baker went 1. Obviously, they're the Browns. Saquon Barkley, Sam Darnold, all studs. Denzel Ward went number 4. Not sure if he's still in there. He's a cornerback. I don't really keep up with them. Brandon Bradley Chubb. Is he still in Denver? Defensive end?
No.
Nope, he gone. Then there's a Quentin Nelson, who's a guard. Don't keep up on them. Then you had Josh Allen. Obviously, number 10 went to Arizona, the Josh Rosen that we already talked about. And Mr. Irrelevant, I think is what they maybe could do in the last pick in the first round was Lamar Jackson. Calvin Ridley was in there. I mean, that was a pretty good draft class.
That was Mahomes as well, wasn't it?
Was he 15? In that one?
Yeah, because Buffalo traded. If they got Josh Allen that year, that was the year Mahomes was drafted because Buffalo could have got Mahomes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm looking real quick because the Bills were 7. Pick 15. I'm looking at Casey, trying to find Casey's pick. 15 was Oakland. Patrick Mahomes. They don't, according to pro-football-reference.com, I don't see Mahomes in the first round. He would have been a first rounder.
Yeah, what year was he drafted then?
And Nick Chubb was a second rounder. He was the AP MVP of 2018 and rookie, so player of the year in 18. I don't know. I don't see him in there.
Mahomes was drafted in 2017.
Oh, so the year before. Gotcha.
That's
That makes sense.
okay. I thought it was.
Hey, it was close. We were a year off. But 2018, I mean, that's 6 years later to have the draft class that they had. It's a pretty good draft class. Of course, none of my guys are on there, but 2017, talk about a draft bust. Mitch Trubisky, baby, number 2 pick. Yikes.
I mean, go down the entire list of any first round, any year.
Yeah.
And every team, generally speaking, feels good about their first round pick or their draft class. Feel good about it. I think this could turn out, could be whatever. And how many busts happen? It's wild how excited we get as college football fans in the off season and as NFL fans for the draft. And all of a sudden it just ends up not being. So, I mean, sometimes you just got to take a step back, and the draft is nice to watch. It's the pageantry of it. It's fun. It's fucking April. There's nothing else going on. Basketball's literally done. Baseball's trying to get started. And we as football fans are thinking about this long summer we have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to get excited about something, and the NFL draft is fun, but sometimes you got to pump the brakes on these players.
You aren't kidding. And kind of like you were saying with that, kind of within the lines with that, is I saw something that said starting this week, there was 55 straight days of football. Between college and the NFL. 55 straight days. If you're a sports fan, hell yeah. I know, I'm excited.
I'm excited about that. I'm also, you know me, I know you guys are more pro football fans and I'm a little more college. I am super excited about the Army-Navy starting out 4-0 for the first time since 1945, both of them. And now they're 5-0. And now we could potentially see an 11-0 Army and Navy take each other on in the, in their game in like the beginning of December, and then potentially a week later take each other on in the conference championship game, and then maybe if the stars align, they could play the next game against each other in the playoffs. How wild would that be to get 3 Army Navy games in a row?
That would be sick.
Hopefully it doesn't start a civil war or anything. That's how that movie went, right? I haven't seen it, but it wasn't because of the college football teams that were battling so hard that it really just had a divide in the country. I don't know. I'm not good at history, but maybe I'm wrong.
That's exactly the reason.
I'm probably a little.
That would be a good movie, actually.
Hey.
So, I was stuck at a youth softball tournament yesterday, and I was like, oh, I forgot. Mizzou's playing Texas A&M today. Let me check the score. And then I peeked in, and at that point it was the fourth quarter, and it was 41-7, Texas A&M. And I'm like, okay. And I just closed it and everything. And then my wife asked me, she's like, hey, so what was the score? And I'm like, let's not talk about it. And we need to
How crazy was it? Sorry to cut you off. USC lost. Missouri lost. That was 9-10. Alabama, after beating Georgia, loses to Vanderbilt. Didn't have that one on my bingo card. Who else lost? Tennessee, the number 4.
Tennessee.
They lost. Michigan lost. And Miami held on for a 1-point win.
Controversial. The targeting, I don't know. That looked like clear targeting to me, but I casual.
Yeah. I said this on Twitter yesterday. X, never going to call it X.
It's Twitter.
The targeting call.
Is that Des Bryant?
Yes. Right. No, that's the black shirts. That's Nebraska's defense, you guys. Come on.
Ooh.
That's Dante Hall.
No, Nebraska's had this since the 90s, bro. Since Dante Hall was in high school. I
saw it in wrestling.
As a Nebraska football player, or Nebraska football fan, I should say. You made me lose my point.
I'm sorry.
God damn it, Euban. Do you know how this works?
Targeting.
Yes. So targeting has become so similar to me as the balk call in baseball. It seems like, do people understand it? Yes, there's a select few who could probably explain it to you step by step, but the majority of the people don't understand it. And I think for me, it's more of a balk call is confusing, but targeting, I don't think anybody understands what, because I saw a hit yesterday with Nebraska where a defender literally lowered his shoulder and went in with the crown of his helmet and connected with the helmet, and the targeting call was reversed. And I'm like, what in the world is happening? What do I not understand? If a helmet and a helmet make a contact and the defender lowered his head, that's targeting.
Yeah.
But whatever, I guess I just don't understand it. So it's open to interpretation, and we start talking about terms like like defenseless player, and what was the other term we had last week? I can't remember.
There's so many.
Something contact, I can't remember, but just these silly random euphemisms we create, definitions to words that, like, just call it where it is. If the defender uses his helmet to take somebody's head off, they're out of the game. Or no, even better yet, we'll just cut off a finger right in the middle of the field. How fun would that be?
And if they're Amish, they'll bury it.
See, you can't do that now either, because now you're getting penalized for having celebrations that insinuate that you have a weapon.
Did you see that shit yesterday?
Yes.
That was wild. That was it South Carolina, I think? Somebody like that in the SEC or ACC tackled a player, got a sack. So I think it was a sack, and literally acted like he was firing I'm not going to replicate this, but he was firing an automatic weapon, or at least some sort of weapon, and he was emptying a clip into said person, like jokingly.
That's probably a flag.
As the guy was on the ground, he was taunting him. I don't even know if he was flagged or not.
He didn't get a penalty. He didn't. But what did get a penalty was, I forget which player it was. He like showed his abs as if he was like brandishing a weapon or whatever. And he got a penalty for that. But the loading up AK-47s or whatever, just like unloading clips.
He probably lifted up his shirt and they saw a different kind of weapon. Maybe he thought he had a weapon. You know what I'm saying?
He's also a fan of blowing loads into the belly button. I like it.
Yep, that's probably what happened. Speaking of being a fan, there's no better time to say we're big fans of Tim Berets. You guys should check out Tim Berets. You're watching any other shows on the Beard Laws studio and you hear a zipper sound, zip, and you look down and you see him Burley, he probably said something very inappropriate. And you could probably guarantee that happens at every show that he's on. We love it. We love them. Check out timberrays.com. Check out copperjohns.com. Use code BeardLaws. Save yourself some money. Go get some ball wash. Nobody wants some stinky balls, especially for playing sports. You don't want to be the guy with the stinky balls. Check out Vermont flannel. It's flannel season here. The leaves in New York at the time of the recording, 30% coverage. I mean, 70 more percent. And we can get these leafers out of here. We can get all these leaves out of my goddamn yard. But go to Vermont Flannel, use code BeardLaws24, get yourself a flannel. That's what I'm rocking. I got the hoodie. It's kind of like Steelerish colors because I'm going to be crying myself to sleep after they already lost to the Cowboys probably, but we're in the future. So there's that. And at the time of the recording, we don't know who won yet. So there's that. And our favorite peanut butter fucking nuts. It's good stuff. It's fun to say. We love it. Tastes good. I just re-upped because I ate all mine. But so we got. Check them out. We appreciate it.
I had to buy myself another jar as well just because we ran out of our normal, cheap, great value peanut butter for the kids' lunches. And I'm desperately looking for peanut butter. And I'm like, no. My wife is slowly like buying peanut butter and ketchup with no sugar added. And I'm like, bitch, what are you doing? What is this shit? Get rid of her.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But no, she hated that nut stuff the first time she tried it. And I don't know if I told you this, but I came home one day and like there she was like dipping bananas in it. And...
Yeah. I didn't like I think we mentioned I didn't overly love for my personal one, the coconut one or whatever, but I love the original. And I forget, I just got another one. When I get it in, I'll show it. But my wife
show when you get it in, huh?
Hey, I'll show you. Check out our onlyfans.com/beardlaws. Probably not gonna be anything there, but if somebody took that,
three guys
good for them.
Food with Doritos on their chest.
My wife has been reading how like all the ports or something are closing and this and that. So every time she goes to a store, she's like buying extra pasta and a couple of extra cans, and I'm just like, why? Well, just in case. And I'm like, I'm gonna tell you right now, an extra thing of spaghetti and a couple cans it's only gonna give us an extra day or two. She's like, well, you know. But the holiday season is upon us, and I made the mistake the other day. I had to go to the Walfart, and they have a pretty good clearance aisle here. I don't know if they are in your places. So it's a bunch of stuff that they just want out of there. And there was somehow one of our pots and pans busted. You can't put the lid on it. It's like deformed. I don't know if the dishwasher got it or somebody dropped it or I don't know what happened. So she's just been like, yeah, it'd be cool if we could make some popcorn in this with a head of lid. So I found this set, not like a super nice set, but it was $120 for $20 in the clearance aisle. $20. And it's a 12-piece set, 3 spatulas, a bunch of like flat pans, the pot and everything like that. So I'm like, all right, $20. Then I look, they have an Hello Tushy the 2.0, which are like $90 new, $20. Didn't even need another bidet. I have more bidets than toilets now, but I hooked up the Hello Tushy. It is a lot nicer. And then what was the other one? Got a couple of things for the kids for Christmas that were just stupid deals, like toy, stuff that's like $70, $80, $20. I was like, I like this deal. I know Walmart. Every once in a while, you're kind of an asshole, but I was a fan of you yesterday. And all I went was to get was the RV winterizer, which I don't know if you guys have ever had to winterize an RV. Usually it's a pretty easy task. But usually, like I was telling kind of you, and I said, it's fun when you have to do all these chores and nobody happens to be around. They kind of scramble as if, it's like voluntary help to help clean up after a party. Everybody just, they're gone. So I'm kind of trying to do it all by myself. And it's not overly hard. You got to run the stuff through so you run anywhere that there's water. You put the winterizer in so that way the pipes don't freeze. But you run it through there, and you kind of need a second hand just to turn the faucets on, do this and that, turn the water pump on. Well, I wasn't thinking. I had already turned the water pump, trying to go 100 miles an hour. Went to there's a bolt by the water heater so you can drain the stuff from the water heater. Not overly paying attention, didn't depressurize it. Open the bolt. I mean, you ever seen the meme at the brewery where the guy doing the thing and it opens and it explodes full of pressure? Right off my face, all over my shirt. It's got the winterizer shit. So essentially all of the money that I just spent on that stuff just poured out into me. And as that happens, my dad was walking over with a beer, saw it, started laughing, turned right around and went back the other way. I wish I got that on camera.
Total dad move.
Oh my God. I mean, just drenched in that stuff. And I can still like taste it and smell it. And I'm thinking, man, how much did I consume? Like, I'm starting to get paranoid. Like, should I make myself throw up? So naturally, I just grabbed a beer. I sat with him. He's like, got your camper all winterized? With a serious face. I'm like, yeah, how'd it go? Pretty good. He's like, cool. So I have a couple beers? Like, yes, I do, Dad. Oh, man, blasted me.
Can you glow in the dark now? Have you looked?
I haven't looked. I'm scared. Bought a couple beers and then I had a little vodka and we were good to go. We're good to go. Broke the old diet that I was trying to be on for a couple weeks. So we were kind of talking some stuff. Nebraska, they were good since the 90s and the X sign and this and that, feeling old. Did you guys hear Eminem's going to be a grandpa? Speaking of old.
Yes.
I know you did because, his grandma lives near you or you guys are neighbors or something.
No, yeah, no, his grandma is weird as shit though. So, but she's gonna be a great grandma now. So that's congrats to her. But no, I did see that, and I also saw that they were interviewing some football team, and they gave them like '90s things, and they were like, "Hey, what's this?" And it was a VHS tape, and they were like, one guy goes, "DVR." I'm like, what the fuck?
Three letters, got the wrong ones.
Yeah, and they're like, I don't know all this old shit. I forget what it was. It was like there was a VHS. I can't even think of it now. Now I'm gonna have to look it up. I was so.
What was do you remember the college football team?
Nope.
Sweet.
No, it was an NFL team actually.
Oh.
I think it was the Dolphins, maybe.
Let's see if we can find it. Let's see. Guessing 80s and 90s items challenge NFL players?
Yeah, it was like there was a cassette tape as well. One guy knew it was a cassette tape.
Is it the Giants? You see, was it this? Maybe more than one are there. This is on TikTok, so I think we can play this. Well, let's try it.
CD player,
This is a CD player. Yeah.
Walkman.
This is it's just an old school phone right here.
This looks like an early BlackBerry.
Flip phone, slide phone, Palm Pilot. That was a phone. We got here Arnold. Hey Arnold.
Wow, nailed it.
Hey Arnold.
This is Hey Arnold right here.
No clue.
I don't know what this is right here.
Got him on the Full House.
Full House. Probably know that. I never watched that either.
God, I hate Daniel
This
Jones.
is some plants. I don't know what this is.
This is a dog with some plants on it.
Chia.
Chia pet.
Shit, pet look like that? Different.
So that one wasn't it. This one they actually had the physical things, but I forget what team it was. But yeah, it was the same trend. But yeah, they were. But it was like 90s and 80s things, and these people were like, oh my god, what the f- is this?
Tampa Bay.
Man, I can't remember. I was so baked. Oh, this is it. Yep, 100%. This is it. Yep.
Back in the day,
And it's like a DVD, VR, DVR. I don't know. This is
this little DVD thing that you used to put in the what's it called? VCR?
VHS, right?
Yep. VHS tape.
I don't know.
Want to give him one too?
Power Rangers. Absolutely Power Ranger. I was a 2000s baby and I played with Power Rangers.
Hell yeah.
Did that NFL player just say I was a 2000s baby? Damn.
CD?
I don't know. IBM.
Floppy disk. Is that what it is?
Floppy
Is that a
disk?
floppy disk? Dang, I would have never gotten that. He's like 24. He's basically a 90s baby.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
That's a floppy disk. That was called a floppy disk.
Yeah.
Y'all got me on this. I don't know this. Yeah, this thing we used to put in the music. You put in like a music thing, close in there, put like tunes and stuff like that. Yep. I don't know what it's called though.
This is the cassette, right? Yeah, this is the cassette. Yeah. The times has changed.
Totally redeemed himself.
This is
Didn't know the VHS, but he knew the cassette.
You want to really scare him, pull out a Betamax, right?
I like how the one guy's like, "Man, this is the thing that you put in a thing." Well, no shit, it doesn't just play by itself.
Show him a rotary phone.
I felt old just because I was like, I know exactly what every single one of these things are without hesitation, and I know you guys do as well. But I've been seeing videos too, and these gnats, bro. I'm about to Muhammad Ali these things, but I've been seeing videos of Baker Mayfield going undercover. Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. And he looks like Steve the Pirate in Dodgeball, pretty much.
It's pretty good.
But he like throws in this competition, and he just like throws it 50 yards, and all these people are like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" But it was fun. So he seems like one hell of a guy that like I'd have a beer with Baker Mayfield.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Would you rather have a beer with Baker Mayfield or Johnny Manziel?
Ooh, I do Coke with Johnny and beer with Baker.
Now, why make me pick one? That's bullshit. Why not both? I was gonna try to pull up some random stuff from the 70s and see if we could guess that, but I was trying to do the math. I think we need even more time, right? Because if they're guessing stuff from the 90s, we need to go 30 years back, so we'd have to do like 50s, right?
Well, 60s for some.
Well, and I bet you we would have a hard time guessing things from the 50s.
Let's do it though. That actually, I mean, I won't get a single one of them, but
I was trying to see, like, I was like, man, there's got to be something that is already existing, but there's apparently not. Let's see here. Let me try this. Real quick.
I'm trying.
It's hard because they have the image out there, so I got to try to throw this here. Let's throw this out here. Do we know what this is? This was the second thing that came up as the most popular. The attire. Not this. This right here.
I think 20s. I was thinking of like a flapper, whatever the hell it was, a flapper dress. That's the 20s.
That was 20s.
Are we asking what the dress is called?
Yes. It was the second most popular thing behind, I was going to show you it, but it's pretty obvious. The hula hoop was number one thing that popped up. We could guess the hula hoop. They were still around.
Soon to be over grandma's head. That's all I know.
Ayo.
You know what? She's showing a lot of leg. This is the 50s. Whore.
Oh, look at that ankle. Oh.
It is the poodle skirt, apparently. Very.
Never heard of it.
All right. I'm gonna do this one. I don't know if we should say it on the show, but times have really changed. Let's go for it. What would we call this hat?
Ha! Nope.
Nope.
A raccoon skinned hat.
Yeah.
It was very, very popular in the 50s with poodle skirts. Apparently, they just named everything after animals. Another thing was a drive-in movie, which obviously we lived through those. The hula hoop, the poodle skirts. We would guess a telephone booth. I would have to imagine.
Said that to Burley. I just imagined, but he would just be like foaming at the mouth. Like, let me answer this.
Please let me. Then we'll do what? Let's do one more here. That was big in the 50s, I guess. We should be able to get this guy or whatever he identifies in the 50s or 2024. As times have changed. Get rid of this goddamn ad. Where the frig is it? Oh, right here. Should be a pretty easy. This was big in the 50s.
Oh yeah, it is easy.
Say it.
Oh, Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head.
You had all of the pieces one time.
One time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's one toy that doesn't need to make a comeback because you're going to step on a goddamn mustache or an eyeball or something. And apparently those little corn popper were big in the 50s. Remember the push things that the kids put and roll?
Boys,
Oh,
I got to show you something, okay? I got to show you something.
I hope it's your penis.
Ooh.
Maybe. Only if you're lucky, but you're not.
No.
I'm just gonna send it to Matt so he can show the chat. But there is a toy I bought my daughters, and I am regretting doing it. Because you want to say Legos are bad to step on. These motherfucking things upside down, you can't quite tell.
Oh.
Because they're all in there, but all of these pieces come apart. Like any flower head you see there, turn it upside down, and it is now a sharp point like this that your foot literally steps on when you. And in the middle of the night, I swear to God, I picked these things up twice, and I said, "You guys, these are going in the trash."
Not only that, those little clips right there.
Yeah,
those would suck as well. There's only 120 of them though. That's cool.
Oh yeah. Well, can you change the picture to the next one? Yes.
Oh,
So that's what I'm talking about. You put like most of them fall because they fall flat on their head, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the pointy part sticking up. My wife has stepped on them and started crying, and like I felt bad because she's pregnant, but then also it's like finally somebody that's not a dad that has to step on a toy.
Mm-hmm. Listen,
it seems like it's me every fucking time. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. God damn. I mean, I don't know if you guys are like me, but if I step on something one time, it's the last time that toy lives. It's gone. It's either in the trash, it's in the yard, it's in the neighbor's yard, it's in the pond across the road. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that. That would be trespassing and it's private property. Definitely wouldn't do that. But you know what I mean. It's gone.
Kids aren't. You guys have older kids than I do. I know Matt does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Yuban does as well.
Yes, I know Yuban does.
Yes.
So I don't. I use it as a like, hey, if this is on the floor again, I'm throwing it away as a like a get up and put it away. I've not crossed that line yet because I think my oldest is still too young to quite understand the concept.
Oh, for sure.
She's still in the like, can you help me pick everything up? I'm like, I didn't help you put it on the ground. I'm not fucking helping. I'll tell you what, I will help you. I'm gonna get my grabby tool and I'm gonna pick all of this shit up, and we're picking it up off the ground, put it in a bag, and I'm gonna give it to a kid who takes care of it. That's what I always say, and I never follow through.
Oh, I always do. I do. Yep, and it's funny because I'll put it out for free by the side of the road, and you know who ends up with it? The Amish.
Do they really?
Oh, they'll take anything. I know in their religion they're not supposed to have plastics or this or that, but I'm going to tell you right now, they take a lot of free stuff. There happened to be, we had a garage sale, and there was a beard brand that maybe even had Amish in it that I worked with a long, long time ago, and I had a bunch of clothes and some stuff I just wanted to get rid of. Doesn't a person that apparently adopted some Amish kids from like a different state happen to drive by? They took anything that had Amish on it and bought them all to give the kids, and I'm like, thank you. That was very nice. But they ate that shit right up.
Hopefully they didn't eat that stuff. You know, they probably looked at it like, look, candy wax. Like, what is this?
Yeah, this thankfully was no product. I threw all that away. It was like hoodies, t-shirts, hats.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, no.
I never told you my Amish story today.
Ooh, I don't think so.
So it's the story itself isn't in my book, but it has to do with the story that's in my book. When I was on my way to Philadelphia, we stayed at a place, Lancaster, which is like
PA?
one of the Amish. It's a huge Amish place. down there.
Big. Yep.
And I rode on a Greyhound bus back when those were bigger. Omaha, I don't think even has one anymore, a bus stop for Greyhound. But we got into either Pittsburgh or on the way to Philly, or maybe it was in Philly, and there was an Amish family who got on, and it was 95 degrees outside, and they were dressed like they always are, like Amish folks are dressed. And bro, like, you should have been leaving out some deodorant for free for those folks, because they wore none of it.
They won't use it.
And it was awful, bro. I'm talking like, it was like, you want to talk about nutsack smell? Like, it was straight up. Old Jebediah, fucking 75 years old, balls I know were just stuck to the side of his leg because it smelled like it.
You travel with them on Sundays. I believe Sunday is the shower day. They
Okay.
I really think they do the baths on Sunday for church, and they all share the same bath water. So it would suck to be the youngest. So you got to imagine, like, you know what I mean, especially in the winter. And then you got to heat up the water, and then you're dumping it in there, and they don't have running water, so they got to go to the well. They got to pump buckets. Then they all got to run them up, boil them. I mean, if you had to put that much work into showering or taking a bath, are you gonna? I'm not doing it more than once a week. If I got to go pump out, I don't know how many gallons fits in a tub. Maybe, let's say 80, 50 gallon. I don't know what fits in a bathtub. I probably should have potentially worked for a place that sells bathtubs. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
They were very nice, very kind. And all the kids were eating like little bags of Cheetos and stuff, you know. But
which they're not supposed to have, just like they're not supposed to have
Really?
fireball shooters that I find all over the goddamn road that they just throw out before they get home. You sons of bitches! Because in New York, you can buy Fireball like at the checkout now because it's not a liquor, it's a malt liquor or something that they worded it right. So now the Amish, they'll get that. They love their little cigars. They love their shooters. I've seen them come out of the liquor stores with brown bags, like. Then they go run into the buggy, and then they can't bring it home, so they just get hammered on that long-ass ride.
bro,
That's awesome. I always see them going by like horse and buggy. So if it's not tractors, it's the Amish slowing down these one-lane roads that you can never pass anybody for miles, and you're just like, oh my god! You're like, pull over, like, dude, like, there's several little spots where I put that fucking horse and buggy in the ditch. Like, let me get around you.
Yeah, go
piece of crap.
off-road. Imagine, though, like, just being in there and just vehicles flying by you within inches and feet and that whole thing shaking, and just knowing that at any moment you can't see it coming. You're on the same side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, unfortunately, they get hit a lot at nighttime because they refuse in where we are to do anything but that stupid little orange triangle, and that was even a fight, and a little lantern. Like, they won't put reflective tape, they won't put all this other bullshit that would actually save them. They just they roll with it, all pun intended.
Yep, that's all they have here is the orange triangle in the back of the carriage as well.
It's
crazy.
It's unbelievable. Not to cycle back to this, but I did stumble upon a top 20 list from babyology.com-au. The 20 things that hurt more than Legos to step on. So we'll see if we agree. Number 1, small toy dinosaurs. I've stepped on one of those. They don't feel good. There's no give to them. Number 2, vintage Christmas lights. I didn't step on any of them, but that would hurt.
Oh my god!
That
unlocking memories. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, what kind of? I was thinking metal for some reason. I was like,
those things wouldn't break.
No,
that's the thing. Like, it was dull as hell, and it went inside you. Uncle Jimmy.
Number 3. Oh, pins, tacks,
Oh.
needles. That would hurt more than a Lego. I
Mm.
have done this. Sons of bitches. We're getting past that one. Number 4. Pine cones and gum nuts. I don't know what the gum nuts are. Not going to Google it. But pine cones, I've stepped on that.
Grandma?
That is brutal. Gum nuts.
The,
What the hell are gum nuts?
pine cones do suck. They do suck, but I don't know.
Okay, gum nuts is like an acorn almost. Something.
Ooh, those do suck.
They the reason is apparently it is an Australian nut, so probably not a lot of us have seen those.
No, we have a whole bunch of those native in rural Missouri.
I had a buddy that he'd always his thing was when we were in school, he'd be like, "Hey, which one do you put this gum on this seat? I sat on this goddamn gum," and you'd look over and it would be his nut. He'd have his nuts out of his short, and he would always call it bubble gum or gum. So you'd look down and be like, and he'd be looking at his nut. That was always his thing. But he was creative in the ways that he would say it. If only put that creativity into the rest of the school that he did, he'd always get you. Always get you with that. Toy cars and trains, number 5. Those suck.
Hey, which color are you guys choosing? Like, which out of those different color options, which one stood out to you? Just wondering.
The cars?
Yeah.
Oh, green.
Okay.
Yellow.
See, mine was orange. Okay. I was just wondering. Okay.
Interesting.
I was watching before you go on, reading an article that talked about subliminally. It was somebody did research. I don't know. I didn't fucking see what journal it was, but research was done that showed that cops subliminally tend to pull over red cars more than any other color. And so there was a joke in the college football, Nebraska, of course, red, was maybe refs throw the flag on Nebraska because they wear red. And so they were tying that in there, but so I thought that was funny.
Interesting. Yeah, and I've always been told if you own a red vehicle that the insurance is higher on it.
Interesting. And Euban thought I was going somewhere else with that.
Dude, I'm so used to Burley, man. I just can't. I can't.
I know there was a couple of like when he's like the car. I was like, no, the one white kid in the picture.
Well, I drive a red vehicle as well, and I'm always like super nervous. So, you know how normally people are like, "Hey, you can go like 4 to 5 miles over the speed limit." 2 for me, man. I'm just like, nope. Not. He's not going to butter my biscuits. No, thank you.
I went on this weird pattern, not even on purpose, where the first vehicle I ever had was white. The second vehicle, red. Third vehicle, white. Fourth vehicle, red. And I was like, what the hell is going on? So then I went red, green. It was just like coincidence, like because I knew some people that worked at a car dealership, so they'd always call and be like, hey, just took this in on trade. Pretty much can give it to you at this price. We win, you win. And I'd be like, perfect. And then I got into the same thing. There was a guy that used to work for like GM, so he would trade every so many years right when mine was paid off. And he'd be like, hey, you traded again. You want the old one? Low mileage. We have to get rid of it very cheap because it was a GM buy. And I'm like, perfect. So they called me again. And I was like, fuck you. Nope. Truck's paid off. I'm going to ride this thing till it's done because we have to buy the kid, the oldest, a vehicle probably next year. I'm not looking forward to that. If insurance wasn't high enough, adding a 16-year-old to your plan is going to suck.
Yeah. That's around the corner for me, so I feel for you.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
It's not going to be a good time. But here's what it is.
Do you guys remember the I'm going somewhere?
Alamo?
With this, I promise.
No.
Yes, that too. Ozzy Osbourne pissed on the side of it back in the 80s. Anyway, do you remember the commercial from the 90s where there's a guy, he's on the phone, he's making a collect call, and you already know where I'm going with this. Everybody remembers this commercial, which is why it's the greatest commercial of all time. It's Bob. Your last name? Atta baby eats a boy. And then like the father-in-law gets the call, says he doesn't take the charges, and then slowly tells the wife, there you go.
I'd like to make a collect call, please. First name Bob, Last name is We Oughta Baby Eats a Boy.
Hello?
Collect call for Mr. Bob. We Oughta Baby Eats a Boy.
Sorry, wrong number.
Who's that, dear?
Bob, they had a baby. It's a boy.
If you like saving money, call.
That is the greatest Geico commercial of all time. And shout out to Geico for always trying new things and doing silly stuff. And not all the commercials are 10 out of 10, but at least they're pushing the envelope and trying to be silly and memorable. We're having a baby and it's a boy.
That's so brilliant.
I found out it's a boy, so that's my announcement.
Oh shit, dude!
I haven't actually made that publicly, but since this isn't going to be released for a week, it's fine.
Ooh,
Hey,
that's where we're going.
awesome,
Hey.
dude. Sorry, I was like, that is such a good collect call commercial. That's all I could think of now. Was it's like, I was like, that is so classic. And I remember like Carrot Top doing some like 1-800 collect commercials back in the day as well. So, that was awful. But congratulations, dude!
Congrats,
How
yeah, man.
pumped are you?
We were at the fucking gender reveal. You know me, dude. I am. You give me an opportunity to throw a one-liner, and I'm taking it every time. I don't care where we're at, bro.
You say one liner or one in her?
Yes.
Okay.
And we were there, and the nurse was, try the technician that was putting the jelly on my wife's belly and trying to move the thing around the sonar thing, whatever the fuck it's called.
You're like, I did it first.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I don't usually get to rub it in after I'm done.
How'd you get her to do that?
Do I have to wear the lab coat as well? Okay, cool.
Right,
All right.
right.
Dibs.
Honey, I told you it's good for your skin.
Yeah, it's the gloves.
Fucking the nurse was like going through, and she's like, "Oh, well, here's the head, here's the spine, here's the legs and the fingers and all this stuff." And I can't. They're just foot's over the head, and they're having a hard time. We're trying to move. It's moving around. I can't quite see exactly what the gender is. I can't. She goes, "I can't see what it is, even though I know." And I go, "That means it's a boy, honey." The nurse tried not to crack a smile, but she did, and it ended up being a boy. So I knew in that moment that it's a McDermott.
Boom. We should
baby.
try to find somebody that does that for a living to come on for an episode and just tell us the stupidest things that they've heard. Like, it's got like the most overplayed jokes when trying to do gender reveals and stuff like that. And then, a couple of good ones. Maybe open ourselves up to maybe some gynecologists later as well, because that they've heard some dumb and some good ones.
I want our friend groups in the Beard Law Studio to do like that whole jackass thing to see who has like the highest sperm count and stuff like that. Could you imagine? So I'll turn it in our results, be like, hey, who has the highest viscosity and everything else?
You and your swimmers ain't doing too hot, huh?
Dude, I just know mine's going to be just the absolute fastest, but probably not the most viscous because I beat it too much. So there's no punch to it.
You're not down with the thickness, huh?
No, I'm not down with the thickness. Just abusing that damn thing. They're probably gonna look at my dick and be like, "Jesus Christ, dude!
Did you get clipped?" No, I just do it a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Why is it so bent over to that side?
They're gonna see that they're gonna hear the door lock and then immediately unlock, and they're like, "Sir, did you forget something?" No, I'm done. Here you go. They're like, well, you win the world record for getting it done the fastest. I knew that.
That's how we determine the draft order.
See, that would be brilliant. So speed and just, I guess, what was the other one thing that the jackass did was just the, I guess, sperm count or whatever it was. So,
well, that's kind of be a little bit tougher now that there's some females that are wives in the league. We'll have to get them out of there.
Yeah, we got to keep them out. So
yeah, we got to keep them out. The tennis. Did you guys see top tier Arkansas's? Speaking of Twitter and X, that was 4 hours ago. And the conversation put out breaking news per sources: Tennessee quarterback is out due to gonorrhea. And obviously, I doubt that's there, but it went pretty big. I mean, like hundreds of thousands of views. And the chat the comments were pretty good on that one. I randomly saw it, and I'm not on there a lot, but well done to top tier Arkansas.
I love, like, honestly, like, I've just been slowly getting more and more into college football. And again, Pat McAfee, love the dude, but him just trolling other universities just gets my dick extremely hard. So kudos to him. I
Yeah,
love Saturdays.
he's a witty one. He was what, West Virginia?
I
Yeah.
think so.
No.
Yeah.
Good for
I was falling asleep last night with my phone in my face, watching on
Pornography.
a website I will not name because maybe I was playing a man on the high seas, but was watching college football, and it was Arkansas at Tennessee, and I was like falling asleep at the end of the game. But I'm so glad I woke up to watch the last few plays because I'm not a fan of Tennessee or Arkansas, but it was nice to see another top 5 team lose.
Oh, it's so good. Because I think I did the math at the beginning of the show. I think to kind of bring it full circle, I think there was 8 top 25 teams that lost on that Saturday, and the Qs, they went to UNLV and gave them their first loss. That was a wild game. They were down with 24 seconds left. That was the Friday night game. Tied it up. They go to overtime and they end up winning 44-41.
It was a great game and a win, and a win's a win, period. I'm not a fan of either team too, but did you see that targeting call that got called? That was bullshit, dude.
Yep.
That is why that call is stupid, because if you go back, if you throw the penalty, it has to be a penalty.
Yep.
Like that's the thing. The ref, human mistake, human error, whatever, it has to happen. They go back and they review it, and it's the dumbest idea in the world, because if we review it and find out they were wrong, the penalty still stands. Fuck you. Change the rule. That's dumb. It's dumb as shit.
Yeah.
If you are admitting your refs have made the wrong call, fucking
do the right thing.
Okay. Anyway, side note, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I thought that was silly, but I think college football, that is why college football is so great. I think you're going to see an upset or two in the playoffs because we've extended to 12 teams. It's going to be.
I hope so. I hope nobody wants to keep seeing the same 3 teams win over and over. And last thing I'll say before we get out of here, with the umps and technology and stuff like that, Ewan, I know you saw this, and this is old news at the time when this does come out, but that Bobby Witt called third strike, didn't like that, didn't love it. But again, it's the human eye. It was pretty close. If you get rid of the box and you watch, I like how they did the side views right at the knees. And in the previous, there was like 4 at bats that I remember seeing. He also called that. So it was a consistent call. I know Witt didn't love it, but goddamn.
It was not only that, but it was also the stolen base at second that they even reviewed, and you can see that there was a gap.
Yep.
I know it has to be clear. I'm biased, so I think it's, if you can see a gap between the base and the foot and you can see the tag, I don't know.
I agree.
So luckily there's 5 games, so we have our opportunity. And a lot of people were saying that we were going to get absolutely demolished, and we were going bat for bat for them. We're with them. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, I had to watch the majority of it on our way home from, and maybe this is the reason why, I was in a town called Albany. Big, there is an Albany, New York. Fuck Albany.
Yeah, I agree. That's our state capital for some reason, and it is the most probably boring place in all of New York. I mean, it hosts a whole bunch of pharmacy colleges, so there's just a whole bunch of pharmacy nerds there, politicians, and it just sucks. It's not a good time. I've never heard anybody be like, I went to Albany and had such a great time. Nobody.
No, the one in Missouri, very small town, has a Casey's. So I will give them that. Other than that, fuck Albany, fuck New York, fuck the Yankees.
I got to tell you though, too, like if you're in a place that's small enough that you're excited, you're getting a Casey's, that just tells you everything you need to know about that place. I've been a part of some of those places. I'm not trying to put down where you're at, Euban, trust me, but
no,
we have we had one. Last place I was at, we had a pizza ranch. Anybody familiar?
Yeah, we have pizza ranches here. Yeah,
pizza ranch are wonderful. Well, they did like a remodel of the back end of the pizza ranch and added like a kids zone where they could go and spend exorbitant amounts of money to play terrible like casino for games for kids, basically.
Oh, brilliant!
Like an arcade, you know what I mean? Yep. Like, and it's fucking terrible. The prizes are awful, and they're all made in Taiwan or whatever else. It was cool, but then again, it was like, bro, we're excited about this. Oh, this is I got to get to a new town.
What a fun play on words, though. Pizza, ranch. People love ranch and pizza. They should definitely lean into that. I'm kind of like the anti-ranch with pizza, only because I'm not a ranch guy.
Oh,
but
have you looked it up? They do.
Dude.
It's a buffet, and they have fried chicken and pizza.
Their
and
chicken is better than their pizza.
And their pizza's good.
And
like you're right. You're right. The chicken, when you get that fried chicken fresh, I'll slap somebody for it, dude.
Oh, dude. And they have the ice cream machine too with their dessert pizza that you can just fucking go ham on. If you remember, or if you ever had a CC's pizza, think of this as just a mid-scale CC's. You know what I mean? Like it's better
not good
than
as Domino's or Pizza Hut, or it's not. You're not going to Pizza Hut, or you're not going to Pizza Ranch because they've got the best pizza in the world. You're going to Pizza Ranch like you would be. How about you have this? Do you guys remember what was that fucking little CC's Pizza? Do you remember CC's Pizza?
Mm-hmm.
I just
tell me you guys had CC's. It was like $4.99 pizza buffet, bro. CICI pizza.
Am I having a stroke?
It's funny because Euban was just talking about CC's Pizza.
When? This episode?
like within the last 2 minutes.
Maybe I need to be careful with the amount of fun I'm having before the show.
No, it's okay. No, it's funny.
It's like a mid-scale like CC's is what I was saying. Like,
you did say CC's. Okay. My daughter's name's CC, so I thought you were saying Casey's.
Oh no, well, it's we always called it feces. So we're always like, hey, you want to go to Feces Pizza?
That's pretty good.
I heard you say it, but I transferred it and translated it to Casey.
Oh, you're good. I was just being an asshole.
No, it's funny.
It's that place is. So if we're ever like, hey, we're in the mood to get pizza, I'm like, let's just go to Pizza Ranch. Like, it's cheap. You can get some points. Only terrible thing about ours is, and I don't know if this is like a normal thing. Is it kind of like Chick-fil-A where they hire certain people to like run it and own it and everything?
You mean Pizza Ranch?
Yes.
Not the last one I was at. This lady couldn't even tie her fucking shoes.
Oh, okay. Because the one that runs ours is a very, very religious person that plays just nothing but religious music the entire time that you're eating this pizza and everything. So the only downside, so anytime my boss is like, "Oh, let's go get some of that good pizza," yeah, I'll buy it. I'm like, ugh.
Jesus is just all right with me.
So you're over there with like they call it the Bronco pizza, which is the meat lovers, and I'm just putting my crushed red peppers and you raise me up, and everything's okay.
Anybody can franchise it. There's a franchise tag on there. If anybody wants to, kick in, we'll franchise one.
Dip in your pizza. I can only imagine.
The first moment the pizza hits the ranch, it's hallelujah.
Oh, that's when the ice cream machine works. That's when you ask them, like, hey, is your guys' ice cream machine working? Yes. Hallelujah. It's like, oh, God. Well, and before we go to, I forgot to mention, you were talking about places out in the middle of nowhere, and you're happy to see a Casey's, and I completely forgot to mention, I even took a picture of it because I was going to send it to you guys. But
then I got high.
Yes, I did. I do. When you guys were texting me yesterday, dude, I fell asleep at 8:30. Dude, I was done. I woke up early today, though. But
you woke up early today? Whoa, never wake a sleeping bear.
The 10 miles away from this town, but about like 30 miles from ours, this small town has a tasty freeze, right? So the entire time, I just kept saying, "Suck it on, chili dogs."
Nice.
My wife's like, of course, it took them like 30 minutes because it's a ball team trying to order at this like 2-window little like restaurant, and I think 2 people were working the whole thing.
That screams DQ. What came out first?
Dude, this one is not. I'm telling you, the logo, everything about this is probably 50s. We were even talking about the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
I took a. Wait, does it?
So
see this one, I could probably send it to you as well, but wait. Damn it! Yep, I'm just gonna have to send it to you.
So the first Dairy Queen was in the 40s, and the first Tasty Freeze was in the 50s.
So this one is taste, and then it's E in parentheses freeze.
Yeah,
is that how that one was built too?
So. Oh, but look at this history. Tasty Freeze was founded in 1950 in Joliet, Illinois, by Leo S. Morans and Harry Axine, formerly of Dairy Queen. So some Dairy Queen people.
Shit.
branched out.
I just sent you an Instagram the
Okay.
picture of the one that I got because I was like, I wanted to send it to you guys because I was laughing so hard because I just kept saying "sucking on chili dogs," and she's like, "Shut the fuck up! It's not funny." So it's just 20 minutes of me sitting on this picnic table.
Oh yeah.
Just everyone just sitting there. I'm like, it'd be kind of cool if we saw a cougar. She's like, "What? Cougar?" I'm like, "Yeah, John Cougar. Suck it on chili dog." It's like, shut the fuck up. Yes, sir. That is where I had dinner last night.
Look at that logo.
But I did not get a chili dog. Unfortunately, I went with the chicken strips. They had a combo, and I was like, I asked the lady there. I was like, "Are these just crinkle fries?" And she's like, "Yep." And I'm like, "Sweet,
Ooh.
that's what I want."
Mm.
Come out. There's no crinkle in these fries at all. They're just straight fries, and I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, did I stutter? I'm like, what the fuck? And then even my kids were laughing. They're like, "Dad, we heard you say it." And I'm like, okay. I'm like, and she answered me right. And they're like, plain as day, yes. And I'm like, okay.
No, it's
Okay.
impressive to me that Tasty Freeze, the brand obviously was founded in the 50s. By 1957, they had 1,800 locations. Like that seems like a lot in the 50s. Like that's impressive. Maybe it's not overly impressive, but that's a lot of locations.
Yeah. It's a lot of chili dogs.
It's a lot of chili dogs.
It's a lot of stocking.
So to put that in perspective, in 1957 there was only 40 McDonald's.
Wow.
And there was 1,800 Tasty Freezes.
That's crazy.
We're an educational show. Huh. All right. Well, I feel like... Oh, but look at this. In 1955, there was 2,600 Dairy Queens. They probably would have had more if that person didn't branch off and start their own Tasty Freeze. Imagine that little war. The Dairy Queens versus the Tasty Freezes. You know there was some shit going down in the 50s.
Dude, fucking... that was worse than the Bloods and the Crips.
I really think so. It was the original Bloods and Crips.
Yeah. It was the ice cream and the drips.
Ooh. I see what you did there. I like it. All right. Well, you know, at the time of the recording, it's Sunday, which means football and food. We're gonna do some footballing, some fooding, and I even for us, not only is it flannel season, but it is officially hot tub season because it was 34 last night, and it turns out I still don't have heat or insulation in my room on the floor. It felt like I was camping because I woke up, my nose was frozen. And the wife kind of looked at me last night. She's like, "Should we put the electric heater in here just for the night?" I'm like, it's just going to lose all the heat right out of the floor anyways. We wake up early. She's like, "Probably should put that heat in there, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, that probably would have been a good idea." I mean, it was freaking cold. So hopefully at the time of this episode releases and the next recording, I'm going to have some heat at least in the room and maybe some insulation. But hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day and some food. I don't know if you guys have anything crazy planned for food or just a normal little day. We're making the wife's father's like a beef stew recipe thing. He's got this unique take on it. So
we are having some hot turkey sandwiches.
Ooh.
Fucking smashed. I'm so fucking excited.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I've got rotisserie chicken, got hot dogs, and some Cajun turkey breast. I'm just gonna make some on some sourdough bread. That's what I'm doing the next couple of days.
Hell yeah. I made the mistake of downloading an app on my phone that you scan and it tells you
Grinder.
How I was going to say the same thing. I was like, looks like somebody was in the mood for sausage.
You know, it's funny you say that because the icon is a carrot, but it's an app that tells you how good or bad the food is, and it breaks down like what's in it, the hazardous shit, because my brain's been going crazy and stuff like that. So I showed my daughter the other day, they love Pop-Tarts. So I scanned Pop-Tarts and it's like a 0 out of 100. And it breaks down all the like scary, nasty stuff that's in there that, you know, triggers cancer and shit like that. She looks at me, she goes, "Guess I'm done with Pop-Tarts." I'm like, "Oh, sorry for ruining that." But so I've been like trying to eat extra super healthy, hence needing a third bidet with 2 toilets. But
I'm going to go eat a Pop-Tart right now.
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts are so gross though. Like they used to be so much better, is what I'm saying. Like they've gone downhill so far.
They have.
I mean, this
It's
and it
butter
saves
on it,
everything that you scan. So I've just been like scanning everything. But what I do love about it is it gives you all like alternatives, like of healthier food. So like for instance, I was going to try to pull up the Pop-Tart or a cereal. So if you say you pull up I was like, oh, I'm eating healthy. I'm eating Rollin' Oats. You know what I mean? I can't even afford Cheerios at this point. So I'm getting Rollin' Oats, right? 48 out of 100 is what it's ranked. And it tells you right in there that it's got, 2 hazardous materials, which is the caramel color, food poisoning. And then it even breaks down how it like leads into, this, potential kidney and diabetes and all this other, like it breaks down the health risk. And it's got an antioxidant, trisodium phosphate. And then it says kidney and the risk, more or less, it helps. It's what triggers or can trigger breast cancer in females and stuff. So I'm like, but then it comes in and it's like, well, if you don't want to eat those, we'll compare it. And then it gives you, like, come eat this. And then, like, better pretzels, better, this and that. And it actually gives you healthy food. And I'm like, cool. Kind of cool.
Hell yeah. No, that is awesome. I would never want that on my phone ever because I would know that I still would just eat absolutely terrible. I'm like, oh, cool. Canned cheese? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some of that cheese whiz. Spray it directly into my mouth.
But you know how like ghetto I am? I'll like, oh, cheese whiz. Oh, but this cheese wizard is $2 cheaper. I'm gonna get this one.
Oh, for sure. No, because what I think is, well, then I can get 2 cans with this cheap chicken and biscuit cracker. Then I can also get the veggie cracker as well because I'm not getting the expensive chicken cracker. Absolutely good, sir.
That's the one thing I've noticed though is how much more it is to buy good food. Like I just went the other day, got 2 things of meat. Strawberries, bananas, apples, like normal stuff that we try to get anyways, and this and that was like $80 for less than 12 items. Where I could have went and bought 12 boxes of cereal. You know what I mean? Like all this other crap, and I'm like, you sons of bitches. You sons of bitches. But
speaking of cereal, last thing I'll say, Fruity Pebbles, they just did this it was Fruity Pebbles and marshmallows, bro.
Ooh.
Like, why? Like, you don't. The world didn't need that. It's good. It's delicious. But holy shit, they're like, what?
Just like when the Kelsey brothers combined their 3 favorite childhood cereals or something into one in a limited release or something like that. Did you guys see that?
The Kelsey picks or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm about done with the Kelsey brothers. By the way,
I'm kind of over it.
It was Reese's Puffs, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms are so overrated.
Yeah. Well,
and so now if you get just Reese's Puffs or Lucky Charms like we do, it says these are one of Kelsey's picks. And so you just see their faces on both their faces on each box. And it's just like, oh,
don't worry. For me, I'm on the path of looking for Heritage Flakes, Nature's Path organic cereal. This is my life now.
I'm just gonna go eat a cardboard box and just fucking call it a day. Just put some milk on it.
I think that's what I'm gonna do.
I'm done with this
All
shit.
right. Well, I'm hungry. They're hungry. Appreciate the hell out of you guys. And for anybody still listening, we appreciate you. And that's all we got. See you next week. Stay out of our fridges if for some reason any of our kids are listening. Okay. Well, that's all I got. You guys got anything else?
Yeah, give your grandma a big wet sloppy kiss for us.
Okay, bye.
Buckle up tight. It's gonna be a wild ride. We're diving deep into your fridge where secrets hide. Mysteries of leftovers, the wonders inside. From moldy sandwiches to ancient yogurt jars, we cover the truth.